In the beginning. Well, not in the beginning, as in a worn-out nursery rhyme, but in a time when chaos reigned supreme. The universe was a formless expanse of swirling waters. Amidst this cosmic soup, a light emerged, so potent and self-assured that even the void had no choice but to step aside. Enter Re, the ancient Egyptian sun god, a self-made deity whose very existence proclaims, "I shall be," and the cosmos obliquely ignited with the first rays of dawn. Picture this: the primordial waters of Nin, a boundless and murky abyss, suddenly parting as if on cue for grand performance. Out of this eternal darkness, the sacred Benben, a mystical pyramid mount, rose, symbolizing the first act of creation. A lotus flower bloomed, delicate yet deviant, heralding the arrival of Re. It was as though nature itself had prepared the stage for divine debut, where even chaos knew to hold its breath. Now, unlike most deities who come with a lengthy family tree and enough drama to rival any modern soap opera, Re needed no mother, no father. He simply was. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Judy also had, presumably, no mother. With a flourish that might rival the confidence of a celebrity chef declaring, "Dinner is served," Re manifested into being. His self-creation is a testament to his boundless power and authority. A power that not only shaped the heavens, but also established the order upon which all existence would rely. Now, among the lesser told but equally intriguing legends is the story of Ra's progeny venturing into the Primordial Sea. He created the first gods, Shu, the god of air, and the wonderful Tefnut, the goddess of rain. Together, they dove into the waters of the universe to explore. When Ra noticed they were gone for too long, he got worried and sent his best messenger to find them. Luckily, Shu and Tefnut made it back, and Ra was so happy that humans were born from his tears. Later on, Shu and Tefnut had kids of their own, Geb, the god of the earth, and Nut, the goddess of the sky. And with that, the sky and the earth were created. Ra ruled everything as the first pharaoh, blessing Egypt with sacred animals like the ox and the lion. But his biggest gift? The Nile River. Around its shores, humans built a civilization, honoring the gods. However, Ra had a premonition that his grandchildren would challenge his reign. So, he forbade Geb and Nut from having children. But, once again, Jehudi intervened, which can be seen in the story, The Moon Heist. The result was that Tefnut could give birth to some powerful offspring. Isis or Usat, Nephthys or Nebet Hut, Sej or Set, and Osiris or Wazir. These new gods dethroned Re. What a surprise. With Wazir taking over as the new ruler. But not everything was peaceful. Sej wasn't thrilled about this and had his sights on power, which can be seen in the battle Hur or Horus versus Sej. Now, Ra's very image is a study in cosmic majesty, often depicted as a man with the head of a falcon. His form is crowned by the brilliant solar disk, encircled by a vigilant cobra. This iconography isn't merely for show. It speaks to his role as the giver of life, the sustainer of order, and the ultimate purveyor of daylight. Imagine the warm, life-affirming glow of the morning sun, so much like that perfect cup of tea on a crisp British morning. Only here, it carries the weight of divine significance. Thus, as the cosmos awakened under the benevolent gaze of Re, a new order was established. His emergence set in motion the eternal cycle, a journey from the zenith of the sky to the mysterious depths of the underworld and back again at dawn. A daily triumph over darkness. In this moment, the universe found balance, and all of creation took its cue to continue the grand performance of life. Fresh from the chaos and born as the self-made luminary of existence, Ra quickly realized his destiny was more than just a flash of brilliance. It was to rule the heavens. With the quiet confidence of a Brit stepping into his morning jacket, complete with a knowing smile, Ra ascended to a celestial throne. His rise was not a quiet moment, but a cosmic spectacle, as if the very stars and elements had conspired to herald his majesty, ushering in an era where light would forever conquer darkness. Central to Ra's divine repertoire was his magnificent solar bug, a vessel as awe-inspiring as it was symbolic. Each day, Ra commandeered this barque, riding it across the expanse of the sky. This wasn't merely a mode of transport. It was a living emblem of order and renewal. Egyptian temples and tombs immortalized the barque in vivid hieroglyphs and reliefs, underscoring its role as a beacon of hope and continuity, much like the steady tick of a finely crafted timepiece. As barque traced a path that balanced the inevitability of dusk with the promise of dawn. No grand saga is complete without a formidable adversary. For Ra, that nemesis was Apophis, a colossal serpent of chaos intent on swallowing the light. Every sunset, as Ra prepared for his nocturnal descent into the mysterious Underworld, Apophis slithered forth to disrupt the cosmic order. Yet, armed with the power of the sun and backed by a loyal retinue of divine guardians, Ra repelled the serpent's advances time and again. This recurring triumph over chaos wasn't just a myth. It became a powerful metaphor for the eternal struggle between order and disorder, a theme that reverberates through both ancient rituals and modern philosophies. Ra's solar journey has left an indelible mark on history. The image of his barque sailing across the sky inspired the construction of majestic sun temples and influenced the state ideology of Egypt, where pharaohs proudly claimed to be his earthly progeny. This narrative of cyclical renewal, at the fall of night, invariably gives way to a glorious dawn, echoed far beyond the Nile. It found echoes in later mystical traditions and even in modern artistic expressions that celebrate the resilience and rebirth of life. So, as Re's bouquet cut through the firmament by day and plunged into the enigmatic underworld by night, it carried not just the sun, but the eternal promise of rebirth. His relentless journey was more than a daily routine. It was the very heartbeat of the cosmos. Through his voyage, Ra established a legacy of light and order, one that has continued to inspire and captivate human imagination across millennia. As daylight retreats and the heavens dim, Ra's duties do not end with the setting sun. Instead, the divine luminary embarks on an audacious expedition into the underworld, known as the Duat, a realm where darkness reigns and chaos lurks in every shadow. With the same determined poise as a seasoned captain navigating stormy seas, Ra guides his magnificent solar bouquet away from the familiar glow of day and into the enigmatic corridors of night. The journey through the Duat is far from a leisurely cruise. Ra's bouquet must traverse a series of 12 formidable gates, each one a threshold to deeper mysteries and greater challenges. At these portals, divine guardians, embodiments of cosmic justice and order, demand that Ra prove his worth. It is here, amidst the interplay of light and darkness, that the eternal struggle between order and chaos unfolds in a manner as mesmerizing as it is treacherous. One of the most fearsome obstacles is the serpent Apophis, a colossal embodiment of chaos, whose every writhing attempt is designed to shatter the delicate balance of creation. With each encounter, Ra's battle against Apophis becomes not merely a fight for survival, but a vivid allegory for the perpetual conflict between stability and entropy. A narrative that has inspired countless rituals and artistic representations throughout the ages. In the depths of the underworld, Ra is not static. To overcome the ever-shifting trials of the Duat, he transforms, often adopting a ram-headed visage. This metamorphosis is symbolic on multiple levels. It represents the transient nature of life and the necessity of renewal, as well as the idea that death is not an end but a transformative passage, leading to rebirth. Much like the phoenix of later lore, Ra's temporary guise in the dark serves to remind us that even in the deepest shadows, the seed of a new dawn is sown. Ra's Odyssey through the Duat is a collaborative enterprise. Alongside him sail deities such as Seer, the personification of perception, and Hu, the embodiment of command, as well as the potent force of Heka, divine magic itself. Together, these celestial allies ensure that the journey adheres to Ma'at, the sacred principle of balance and truth that underpins the cosmos. Their presence reinforces the idea that even amidst the chaos of the underworld, order is meticulously preserved. The myth of Ra's descent into the Duat resonates far beyond its immediate narrative. Ancient Egyptian texts, the Pyramid text, Coffin text, and later the Book of the Dead, document this nocturnal voyage in exquisite detail, ensuring its place as a cornerstone of Egyptian spirituality. The vivid depictions of Ra's underworld passage in temporalists and tomb inscriptions testify to its profound impact on art, ritual, and the very conception of life and death. This enduring myth not only shaped the funerary practices of a civilization, but also inspired later mystical traditions that view the cycle of death and rebirth as the ultimate truth of existence. So, in traversing the shadow realms of the Duat, Re confronts the essence of chaos and emerges, if only momentarily transformed, as a harbinger of renewal. His nightly journey is a deviant affirmation that even in the embrace of darkness, the promise of dawn remains unbroken. As we contemplate this epic Odyssey, we are reminded that the cycle of life, death, and rebirth is not merely an ancient myth, but a timeless narrative that continues to illuminate the human spirit. In the sacred texts of ancient Egypt, the nocturnal journey of Re is meticulously divided into 12 segments. Each segment is marked by a distinct gate, a threshold between realms that is both a literal and a metaphorical barrier. These gates are not arbitrary. They encapsulate the Egyptian vision of time, transformation, and the eternal struggle between order and chaos. Their influence can be seen not only in funerary texts and temporalists, but also in the very fabric of Egyptian art and statecraft. At the very moment the sun dips below the horizon, Re's bouquet approaches the first gate, known as the Twilight Threshold. This portal marks the transition from the world of the living to the realm of the Underworld. Guarded by benevolent deities who ease the shift from day to night, this gate symbolizes the necessary farewell to the realm of light. Its imagery, often rendered in the soft, muted hues of dusk, served as a visual metaphor for the inevitable passage from life into mystery. Beyond the twilight lies the gate of encroaching shadows. Here, the familiar radiance of Re begins to yield to the ongoing darkness. In this realm, every shadow hints at the transient nature of existence. The divine scribes of fate inscribe the deeds of souls as the bouquet glides past, underscoring the Egyptians' belief that every moment is a step closer to the unknown. And this gate reinforces the idea that darkness, though formidable, is an integral part of the cosmic cycle. As Re ventures deeper, the third gate emerges, a realm where the sun's residual light is nearly overwhelmed by darkness, often depicted with fiery motifs. This gate is not simply a place of destruction, but a crucible for transformation. Here, the dwindling embers of Re's radiance confront the erosive power of chaos, symbolizing the fragile boundary between creation and dissolution. In Egyptian iconography, this phase is rendered with dynamic contrasts, emphasizing both the loss and the potential rebirth of light. The journey continues to the fourth gate, where metamorphosis is inevitable. At this threshold, Re begins to adopt a different aspect, sometimes taking on a ram-headed form to adapt to the conditions of the underworld. This transformation is emblematic of the ancient belief that only through change can one hope to emerge renewed. It is a vivid reminder that death and rebirth are two faces of the same divine coin, a notion that has reverberated through countless mystical traditions. Approaching the midpoint of his journey, Air encounters the fifth gate, the House of Divine Guardians. Here, celestial beings stand sentinel to preserve Ma'at, the sacred principle of balance and truth. Their steadfast presence ensures that despite the overwhelming forces of darkness, order is not abandoned. The Guardians serve as cosmic auditors, their vigilant watch a metaphor for the unyielding structure of the universe, where every soul and every moment is held in balance. No exploration of the Underworld would be complete without confronting its embodiment of chaos. The sixth gate is dominated by the presence of Apophis, the colossal serpent whose relentless assaults epitomize disorder. As Ra's bouquet waves through this perilous passage, the struggle against Apophis becomes a recurring allegory. The eternal battle in which the forces of light must continuously repel the encroaching tide of darkness. This encounter, as harrowing as it is symbolic, reinforces the narrative of cosmic perseverance. Beyond the tumult of the serpent's domain lies the seventh gate, a realm of reflective silence, known as the Mirror of Lost Realms. Here, the bouquet passes through an otherworldly expanse, where echoes of forgotten civilizations and ancestral memories shimmer like spectral reflections. This gate is a bridge between the present and the past, reminding us that the wisdom of ancient times continues to influence the modern world. It is a poignant symbol of how history, though often obscured, remains an intrinsic part of the cosmic narrative. At the eighth gate, the journey takes on a more solemn tone. This is the chamber of cosmic judgment, where the deeds of souls are meticulously weighed against the feather of Ma'at. The imagery here is stark, scales balanced against an eternal record of human actions, and it underscores the principle that every life is subject to divine scrutiny. This phase of the journey not only determined the fate of souls in the afterlife, but also reinforced the moral order that was central to Egyptian society. The ninth gate reveals a vast expanse, known as the Abyss of Eternal Waters. In this domain, the bouquet navigates a boundless sea, with its calm, yet enigmatic currents, symbolizing the fluidity of time and existence. The ancient Egyptians saw water as both a life-giving force and a harbinger of oblivion. In this gate encapsulates that duality. It is a reminder that even in apparent stillness, there lies an undercurrent of relentless transformation. As the journey nears its end, the 10th gate opens, a shrouded passage called the Veil of Forgotten Echoes. Here, the remnants of lost dreams and ancient lore drift like whispers in the darkness. This threshold is guarded by deities who preserve the collective memory of the past, ensuring that the lessons of bygone eras remain intact. It is a powerful symbol of continuity, a connection between the fleeting present and the eternal legacy of human wisdom. The 11th gate heralds the imminent return of light. At this juncture, the oppressive darkness begins to recede, yielding to the subtle promise of coming dawn. The atmosphere here is charged with anticipation, a palpable tension that embodies the hope of renewal. In many ways, this gate represents the threshold between the culmination of trials and the rebirth that awaits at daybreak. Finally, the 12th and final gate stands as the ultimate portal, the threshold of rebirth. It is through this sacred gateway that Hare, having endured the night's manifold challenges, emerges renewed into the world of light. This concluding passage signifies not only the triumph of the sun over darkness, but also the eternal cycle of death and rebirth that has inspired countless generations. The symbolism of this gate continues to influence not only Egyptian funerary practices, but also broader esoteric traditions that view renewal as the cornerstone of existence. The 12 gates of Duat are far more than mythological devices. They are the embodiment of ancient Egyptian cosmology and its intricate understanding of time and transformation. Their depiction in funerary texts, such as the Amduat, pyramid texts, coffin texts, and of course the Book of the Dead, provided the living with both comfort and guidance, ensuring that the journey beyond death was navigable. Moreover, the motives of these gates have permeated Western esotericism, influencing later interpretations of cosmic cycles, moral judgment, and a path to enlightenment. So, as Rare's bouquet traverses each of these formidable gates, it not only charts a course through the underworld, but also encapsulates the timeless dance between light and darkness. Every gate is a testament to the resilience of order against chaos and the eternal promise of rebirth. In embracing these ancient narratives, we are reminded that mythologies across the world are not mere stories, but profound expressions of humanity's quest to understand the cosmos. After traversing the labyrinth of the Duat and passing through the 12 formidable gates, Rare finally reaches the last barrier, the threshold of rebirth. This is not merely a physical gateway, but a liminal space where darkness yields to the promise of dawn. Here, a cosmic order pauses, allowing the forces of creation to prepare for the imminent burst of light. As the bouquet nears the eastern horizon, a miraculous change unfolds. The oppressive veil of night begins to lift, and as the once diminished radiance gathers strength. It is at this juncture that the divine sun god transforms, emerging in a form resplendent with renewed vigor. His metamorphosis, often hinted at by the ancient texts, symbolizes not only the triumph over the forces of chaos, but also the eternal cycle of death and rebirth. In the echo of every sunrise, we witness the sacred promise that darkness is but a precursor to light. With the first glimmers of dawn, Ra reclaims his dominion over the heavens. The moment is both a personal triumph and a universal declaration of order. The new day is inaugurated with an explosion of color and warmth, a living testament to the resilience of creation. This rebirth is celebrated in temporalists and funerary texts alike, where the imagery of a rising sun often accompanies prayers for eternal life and regeneration. In our earlier narrative on Divine Secrets, the tale of Re's secret name, chronicled through the journey of duty, reminds us that even the most guarded mysteries contribute to the cycle of renewal. But we have already covered that story right here. The emergence of Re from the Underworld has a far-reaching implications in ancient Egypt. It was merely a myth, but a ritualized experience reflected in every aspect of life. Pharaohs claimed descent from the reborn Re, aligning their reigns with the cyclical nature of the cosmos. Festivals, art, and literature celebrated the daily victory of light over darkness, a narrative that has since influenced mystical traditions and modern interpretations of rebirth. And this theme of renewal resonates in diverse cultural motifs worldwide, symbolizing hope, perseverance, and the eternal possibility of transformation. So, as Re ascends into the new day, his rebirth is both an ending and a beginning. It marks the culmination of an arduous nocturnal Odyssey and heralds the promise of a new dawn. The eternal cycle of light, death, and renewal, embodied in the radiant rise of Re, serves as a timeless reminder that within every end lies the seed of a new beginning. With the rebirth of the sun heralding a new day, Re ascends not just as a celestial luminary, but as the supreme conductor of an eternal symphony. Picture Re in a finely tailored suit, if gods were suits that is, wielding a cosmic baton, orchestrating the dance of day with the precision of a maestro. His arrival is less a gradual sunrise and more a grand entrance, one that reminds mortals and deities alike that the stage of the cosmos belongs to him. As Re's radiance pours forth, every corner of the earth is bathed in light, a living testament to his rule. In ancient Egypt, this wasn't merely about brightening the day. It was a divine mandate. Pharaohs, regarded as his earthly progeny, embodied his authority and were expected to uphold the same balance and order he so effortlessly maintained. The Egyptians, ever mindful of Ma'at, the sacred principle of truth and equilibrium, saw Re's daily journey as a continuous reminder that, like a perfectly brewed cup of tea, the cosmos must always be in balance. Now, central to Re's reign is Ma'at, a principle so fundamental that it dictated everything from royal decrees to the alignment of temple rituals. His life was both nurturing and judicious, a force that compelled even the most unruly aspects of existence to fall into line. And as you may recall, we've already enjoyed the intriguing escapade of Re's secret name, Voyage, so no need to rehearse that classic tale again. Anyway, in every sunrise, Re reaffirms that order will always triumph over chaos, a concept that has echoed through millennia in both ancient rites and modern musings on cosmic justice. Re's influence transcends the boundaries of myth and ritual. His divine authority is immortalized in temples of Heliopolis and in the intricate hieroglyphs adorning tombs. These visual records not only celebrated his might, but also served as blueprints for sustaining life on Earth. Every carefully crafted inscription and every ritual performed at sunrise is a nod to the legacy of a sun god, who, with a twinkle in his divine eye, ensured that light and life would endure. His influence even extended to later mystical traditions, inspiring generations of thinkers to explore the timeless dance between light and darkness. Even as the ultimate arbiter of cosmos, Ra's story is without its moments of divine humor. There's a subtle, almost cheeky quality to the way ancient texts hint at his occasional indulgence in celestial repartee, a reminder that even a god of such immeasurable power can appreciate the lighter side of existence. After all, when you're the one commanding the very skies, a well-timed quip might just be the perfect counterpoint to the grandeur of creation. So, as the day unfolds beneath his unyielding gaze, Ra remains the eternal celestial conductor, guiding the rhythm of life with both majesty and a hint of wry amusement. His legacy is a living dialogue between the past and the present, a continuous interplay of light, order, and wit that inspires awe and reflection to this day. In every ray of sunlight, we find not just the warmth of a new day, but the enduring promise that even the grandest of cosmic dramas can both sublime and, dare we say, delightfully troll. Even the mighty Ra, the self-made luminary of the cosmos, understood that greatness is best shared. In a pantheon where every deity played a vital role, Ra's own story is inseparable from those of his divine kin. His influence spread far and wide, not merely through the brilliance of the sun, but through alliances, unions, and even strategic mergers that redefined the very nature of power and creation. In a world where gods weren't confined to a one-size-fits-all identity, Ra famously fused with other deities to embody multifaceted aspects of the divine. When combined with her, he became Ra Horachtheb, the radiant guardian of the horizons. And when he joined forces with Amun, the result was the formidable Amun-Ra, a composite deity who served as a cornerstone of state religion. These divine partnerships weren't mere footnotes in myth. They were grand collaborations that reflected the Egyptians' deep understanding of unity in diversity. Much like a well-curated ensemble cast where every star shines in its own right. You see, Ra's creative prowess wasn't limited to his own self-creation. Across varying traditions, he is credited with bringing forth life itself. Some myths tell us that humankind emerged from his tears and sweat, or rather poetic way to say that even the sun has its softer moments. Other narratives weave tales of divine offspring and consorts, such as Hathor, Sekhmet, and Bastet, who, in their own right, shaped the destiny of Egypt. These relationships not only solidified his role as a progenitor, but also underscore the cosmic truth. Their creation is an intricate dance where every step whether a bold leap or a gentle sway, contributes to the harmony of existence. At the heart of these divine interconnections lies Ma'at, the sacred principle of truth, balance, and order. Re's interactions with other gods were always guided by this immutable law. When he was collaborating with lesser deities or merging with equals to form powerful composites, every divine union echoed the eternal promise that order would ultimately triumph over chaos. These alliances, vividly recorded in temporalist and sacred texts, continue to inspire mystical traditions and philosophical musings on the nature of justice and cosmic balance. The ripple effects of Re's divine family have extended far beyond the banks of the Nile. Pharaohs who proudly claimed to be his earthly descendants used his myth as a blueprint for governance, crafting a state ideology that prized harmony, legitimacy, and the eternal cycle of rebirth. Moreover, the symbolism of these divine mergers has found its way into later esoteric and occult traditions, influencing everything from Renaissance art to modern interpretations of mystical unity. In every sacred inscription, one finds an enduring reminder that the interplay between divine forces is both a source of profound mystery and a celebration of life's intricate order. So, Re's divine family and alliances reveal a universe where power is never isolated but always shared. A cosmic collaboration that underscores the beauty of interdependence. As we reflect on these ancient narratives, we are reminded that every deity, every union, and every divine spark is a vital note in the eternal symphony of creation. And in that grand ensemble, even the brightest star knows that its light is magnified by the glow of its celestial kin. Now, we briefly talked about something rather weird, merging with Re. So, let us delve a little bit further. First, Amun-Re, the union of Amun, originally a powerful Theban air and creation deity, with Re, the quintessential sun god. This composite embodies the synthesis of creative power and solar majesty, symbolizing supreme authority and the life-giving force of the midday sun. In the New Kingdom, Amun-Re became the preeminent deity, with pharaohs aligning themselves with his image to legitimize their rule. His iconography influenced Egyptian art, temple architecture, and later Western esoteric thought on divine kingship and creative power. Then, Atum-Re, a fusion of Atum, often seen as the self-created god emerging from the primordial waters, and Re. Atum-Re represents the dual aspects of creation and transformation. While Atum is linked with the setting sun and the act of creation, his merger with Re emphasizes the cyclical nature of life, death, and rebirth. This composite reinforced ideas about cosmic renewal and order, leaving an imprint on later philosophical discussions regarding the cycles of time and reincarnation. Then Khnum-Re, a less commonly highlighted composite, merging Khnum, the ram-headed god who fashioned life from clay, with Re's solar force. Khnum-Re symbolizes the blending of the creative, formative energies of the earth with the sustaining power of the sun, often appearing in contexts related to the underworld and regeneration. Although not essential as some other hybrids, this union reflects the Egyptians' view of creation as a dynamic interplay between earth and sky, a concept that later influenced rituals focused on regeneration and the creative impulse. Up next, Montu-Re, the combination of Montu, a fierce war god associated with the scourging, destructive aspects of the sun, and Re. This form underscores the martial and purifying power of the sun, representing not only the life-giving warmth, but also its potential for destruction and renewal through fiery conquest. Montu-Re's image bolstered the pharaoh's role as a divine warrior king and influenced military iconography in ancient Egypt. His themes of heat, power, and transformation resonated in later interpretations of solar energy and its dual capacity to create and destroy. Then we have Re-Horachte, a celebrated composite of Re and Hur, the falcon-headed sky god, forming Re-Horachte, or Re, who is Hur of the horizons. This hybrid unites the solar brilliance of Re with the celestial upward-reaching vision of Hur, epitomizing the dawn and the expansive sky. Re-Horachte became an iconic symbol of divine rulership and the eternal cycle of daybreak, deeply influencing the portrayal of the pharaoh as a living embodiment of celestial order. His image has echoed through both ancient and modern mystical traditions as a representation of the harmonious convergence of sun and sky. Then we have Re-Khepri, the merger of Re with Khepri, the scarab beetle deity who represents the morning and the regenerative power of the rising sun. Re-Khepri is the embodiment of rebirth and transformation. Just as the scarab rolls the sun disk across the sky each morning, this form emphasizes the perpetual renewal of life and the inherent magic of transformation. The scarab became a potent symbol of resurrection and eternal life in Egyptian art, later influencing alchemical and occult symbolism in medieval and modern esoteric circles. This hybrid remains a favorite emblem in jewelry and art, representing hope and the psychic nature of existence. And lastly we have Re-Vizier. In certain underworld narratives, Re is identified with Vizier, the god of death, resurrection and eternal life, forming the composite Re-Vizier. This synthesis highlights the inextricable bond between the sun's life-giving energy and the regenerative promise of the afterlife, merging the realms of living light and eternal rest. Although less prominently worshipped than some of the other composites, Re-Vizier underlines the central Egyptian theme that life and death are part of a continuous cycle. This union deeply influenced funerary practices and later mystical traditions that explore the mysteries of resurrection and spiritual continuity. So, these hybrids illustrate the multifaceted nature of the Egyptian divine, a cosmos where no power exists in isolation. Each composite not only reflects the ancient Egyptian intricate understanding of creation, transformation, and cosmic order, but also left an enduring legacy that resonates in art, statecraft, and mystical traditions across cultures. From the regal authority of Amun-Re to the transformative renewal of Re-Hebri, these divine unions continue to inspire and captivate the human imagination. Before humanity scribbled its first hieroglyph, or even dreamed of a pyramid, there was Re, a sun whose brilliance was so intense that its very light sparked creation. In a primordial silence, when chaos was the only tune playing, Re proclaimed existence with an effortless authority. It wasn't a grand lecture with pomp and circumstance. It was more like a celestial mic drop. With a few radiant gestures, he transformed the endless waters of Nin into a canvas for life, marking the dawn of creation with the audacity of a true master. In many ancient accounts, Re wasn't just the bringer of light, he was the wellspring of life itself. Some myths recount that humans were born from his tears and sweat, a poetic nod to the idea that every living creature carries a spark of divine emotion. Imagine the sun shedding a tear. If that doesn't inspire, nothing will. This imagery, both tender and magnificent, gave rise to the notion that mortals were, in a sense, the cattle of Re, nurtured by the very essence of life itself. Re's creative act wasn't confined to physical manifestations alone. Through his sacred utterances, he summoned the hidden names of all things into existence. His divine speech was so potent that every word became a building block of reality, an idea that would later resonate through the corridors of mystical traditions and the power of written texts. One particularly evocative myth tells of the celestial cow, a symbol of nurturing and sustenance. In some accounts, Re's creative process is intertwined with this divine bovine imagery, where the nurturing qualities of the cow echo the life-giving warmth of the sun. This myth not only highlights the intimate relationship between curator and creation, but also established a recurring symbol in Egyptian art, where the cow came to represent fertility, nourishment, and the endless cycle of renewal. Now, the narrative of Re as the creator of all transcended mere myth to become a cornerstone of Egyptian identity. Pharaohs claimed descent from this self-illuminated deity, and the very state ideology was imbued with the promise of divine order and perpetual renewal. The image of a sun that births life inspired rituals, monumental architecture, and even later interpretations in Western esoteric traditions. It is a tale that reminds us, in every sunrise, in every living breath, there goes the legacy of a deity who dared to bring light and life into the darkness. So, Re's creative prowess is not just an ancient myth, it is an enduring testament to the power of divine will and cosmic artistry. His legacy as the creator of all serves as a timeless reminder that every moment of life is a miracle, a delicate balance of light and shadow, of creation and renewal. And as we contemplate the miracle of existence, we find that the spark of life, ignited by Re's radiant force, continues to inspire awe and wonder through the ages. Re's story isn't confined to celestial dramas and nocturnal odysseys. His brilliance radiated down onto the earth, permeating every facet of Egyptian life. In the minds of the ancient Egyptian, Re was not merely a distant deity, but the very source of life. A beacon whose light nurtured the Nile's fertile banks and whose divine rays imbued the land with order. It was no wonder that pharaohs, those mortal emperors, proudly proclaimed themselves as his earthly progeny. After all, when your lineage boasts a sun god, even your morning tea feels divinely inspired. Now, the concept of the son of Re, also known as Sa-Re or Sa-Ra, became the cornerstone of pharaonic ideology. Kings were seen as living embodiments of Re's eternal power, destined to uphold Ma'at, the sacred balance of truth, justice, and cosmic order. Temples rose in his honor, their grand obelisks and sun temples serving as constant reminders of the divine spark that animated the realm. In art and scripture alike, the radiant disk and the ever-watchful cobra became emblems of this supreme lineage, symbolizing both protection and the inexorable power of the sun. It's as if the Egyptians knew that nothing commands respect quite like a legacy that literally shines. You see, Re's influence wasn't limited to the realm of statecraft. It seeped into every brushstroke on temple walls, every hymn chanted at dawn, and every whispered legend passed down through generations. His myth inspired a wealth of artistic expression and philosophical inquiry, laying the groundwork for later mystical traditions. From the intricate hieroglyphs of the Old Kingdom to the esoteric treatises of medieval alchemists, the legacy of Re's radiant power has continued to inspire awe and reflection. His narrative of cyclical rebirth, cosmic order, and the eternal dance between light and darkness remains a timeless metaphor for renewal in an ever-changing world. And in embracing Re's legacy, the Egyptians crafted a world where divine authority and human endeavor were inextricably linked. The sun's daily journey was not just a celestial event, but a mirror reflecting a human struggle for order amid chaos. Every sunrise echoed the promise of a new beginning, a cosmic reset that reinforced the belief that even the most fleeting moments could carry the weight of eternity. This remarkable synthesis of myth and reality laid the foundation for a cultural narrative that has transcended the boundaries of time, influencing art, literature, and mystical thought across civilizations. So, Re's dominion was not confined to the heavens. It was etched into the very fabric of earthly life. His radiant legacy became the cornerstone of Egyptian identity, a timeless source of inspiration that continues to illuminate both ancient history and modern mysticism. As we turn our gaze from the sun god's earthly reign to the potent symbols that capture its essence, such as the Vajidai, the sun disk, and of course the cobra, we prepare to explore how these icons have transcended myth to shape occult and esoteric traditions worldwide. Even the most luminous deity can harbor a storm within. In one of the most dramatic episodes of the cosmic saga, Re displays with humanity's ingratitude, unleashed his fierce lioness eye in the form of Sekhmet. With a roar that could shatter the silence of the underworld, Sekhmet rampaged across the land, a wrath threatening to obliterate the very fabric of creation. but we have already talked about this in one of our journeys, to be more precise, the journey about Sekhmet. And, by the way, spoiler, Jehuti saves the day. Again. Anyway, no celestial drama is complete without a touch of rain, and in this case, it comes in the form of the wonderful goddess Tefnut, the goddess of moisture and rain. Once, a bitter quarrel sent Tefnut into a stormy exile, often referred to as Nubia, leaving Egypt parched and Re's heart heavy with worry. With the land suffering under the absence of a life-giving moisture, even the great sun god felt the sting of isolation. In a move as ingenious as it was tender, divine emissaries, and a bit of cosmic wit, in form of, you guessed it, Jehuti, the divine problem solver, eventually coaxed Tefnut back from her tempestuous retreat. Her return not only restored the balance of the natural world, but also reaffirmed the eternal truth that even the veriest heart finds solace in reunion. This episode, imbued with both drama and delicate humor, such as, for example, the 1077 tries of Jehuti to convince Tefnut to come back. A similar story of Sekhmet, now that I think of it. Anyway, underscores how the forces of creation are sustained by both conflict and reconciliation. Beyond these well-known episodes, the vast tapestry of Egyptian myth is interwoven with countless smaller tales. Stories where gods playfully defy expectations, engage in unexpected escapades, and occasionally share a cosmic love. These moments of divine eccentricity serve as gentle reminders that the celestial order, while majestic and awe-inspiring, is not without its quirks. They celebrate the idea that even eternal beings are not immune to the whims of fate, and that sometimes a bit of humor is the very spark that ignites the flame of renewal. So, the turbulent episodes of Sekhmet's fiery rampage, Tefnut's dramatic departure and return, and the mysterious voyage of Re's lost children, if you remember, at the very beginning of this journey, reveal a cosmos that is as dynamic and unpredictable as it is ordered. And these narratives teach us that the dance of creation is punctuated by moments of conflict and reconciliation, each a vital step in the eternal cycle of renewal. In embracing these stories, we celebrate not only the might of Re, but also the intricate interplay of passion, chaos, and tender restoration that has echoed through the annals of ancient myth and continues to inspire us today. In the rich tapestry of Egyptian myth, Re's divine essence is not only communicated through epic journeys and cosmic battles, but also through powerful symbols. These emblems, the Voyage eye, the sun disk, and the cobra, serve as visual keys to understanding the mysteries of creation, protection, and transformation. Their influence has seeped into art, statecraft, and even modern occult thought, resonating with those who seek to unlock the secrets of the universe. Now, the Voyage eye, often synonymous with the Eye of Her, but, as you can see, slightly different. The Voyage eye in the context of Re is much more than a simple amulet. First, mythological roots, traditionally linked to the myth of Her, the eye represents restoration, healing, and protection. In Re's narrative, it symbolizes the sun's vigilant gaze, a divine force that wards off chaos and ensures cosmic order. Cultural impact. This emblem was prominently featured in funerary art and royal regalia, serving as a safeguard for pharaohs and the realm. Over time, its image evolved into a universal symbol of wholeness and protection. And esoteric resonance. In occult traditions, the Voyage eye is revered as a talisman of insight and inner vision. It stands as a reminder that divine protection and clarity come from perceiving the unseen, a concept echoed in various mystical systems. Then, at the core of Re's iconography, there lies the sun disk, a luminous circle that encapsulates the essence of solar power and eternal renewal. Again, the mythological roots. As the primary symbol of Re, the sun disk represents the life-giving, cyclical nature of the cosmos. It signifies the never-ending cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, a cosmic dance that reaffirms the triumph of light over darkness. The sun disk adorned the heads of deities and pharaohs alike, its image carved into temple walls and inscribed on monuments to assert divine authority and cosmic order. Its circular form became synonymous with unity and infinity, bridging the microcosm of human existence with the macrocosm of the universe. And in occult practices, the sun disk is often employed as a symbol of enlightenment and transcendence. Its form inspires meditative practices aimed at tapping into the universal life force, encouraging the seeker to embrace both the radiance and mystery of existence. And finally, the cobra or Uraeus. The cobra or Uraeus is a striking emblem of divine authority and protection, embodying both the potency of the sun and the power to transform. Often depicted rearing atop the head of deities like Re and pharaohs, the cobra signifies sovereignty, readiness to strike against evil, and the perpetual renewal of life. Its venomous nature, balanced by the protective role, mirrors the dual aspects of creation and destruction inherent in the cosmos. The cobra was not merely an ornamental motif, it was a potent symbol of rulership and divine legitimacy. It served as a visual reminder that the power to protect and regenerate was an intrinsic part of the divine mandate, a concept that influenced both ancient rituals and state ideologies. And in modern mystical traditions, the cobra is frequently associated with the awakening of Kundalini energy, the latent spiritual force believed to reside at the base of the spine. As such, it represents the transformative journey from ignorance to enlightenment, mirroring the ancient belief in rebirth and regeneration. The combined imagery of the Vajidai, the sun disk, and the cobra forms a potent visual lexicon that encapsulates the multifaceted nature of Re. Together, they express protection and healing. The ever-watchful Vajidai ensures that the divine light remains undimmed. Life and eternity, the radiant sun disk symbolizes the cyclical, everlasting force of creation, and sovereignty and transformation. The cobra, with its dual capacity for destruction and renewal, underscores the dynamic balance of cosmic order. These syntheses not only anchored the visual language of ancient Egypt, but also laid the foundation for later esoteric traditions. The adoption of these symbols by Western mystics, alchemists, and modern occultists speaks to their universal appeal and timeless resonance. So, the mysticism surrounding these symbols is a testament to their enduring power. They bridge the tangible legacy of ancient Egyptian civilization with the intangible realms of spiritual exploration. In studying these emblems, we gain not only a deep appreciation for the divine majesty of Re, but also insights into the universal quest for protection, enlightenment, and transformation. Every day, as Re's radiant chariot embarks on its journey through the heavens, a hidden battle unfolds in the depths of the Underworld. This is the relentless clash between Re, the paragon of light and order, and Apophis, the colossal serpent of chaos, determined to shroud the cosmos in darkness. It's a saga that, much like a grand theatrical performance, has been recited by poets and chronicled on temple walls for millennia. You see, Apophis isn't merely a creature of myth. He is the embodiment of Isfet, the ancient Egyptian principle of chaos and disorder. With a form as sinuous as the winding Nile and flood, Apophis lurks in the dark, restless of the woods, seeking to disrupt the cosmic harmony. His every undulation represents a force of entropy that dares to challenge the divine order established by Re. In the grand tapestry of mythology, his role is clear: to be the eternal antagonist, ensuring that the victory of light is never taken for granted. As night descends, Re's solar bouquet steams into the underworld, its journey marked by a series of perilous encounters. The 12 gates, if you remember. At each of the 12 gates, Apophis mounts his relentless assault, attempting to halt the bouquet's progress and plunge the world into eternal darkness. Yet, armed with the resolute power of the sun and bolstered by the divine energies of his celestial retinue, Re repels these attacks time and again. The struggle is not a mere clash of might. It is a sophisticated interplay of cosmic energies, a dance choreographed by the very principles of creation and dissolution. At the moments of critical tension, when a balance teeters on the brink, Re's radiant form intensifies, symbolizing the triumph of order over chaos. The imagery is both awe-inspiring and deeply symbolic. The sun's disk blazing with divine fire, cutting through the serpent's dark coils like a sword of pure light. Now, the myth of Re's eternal battle with Apophis has long served as a powerful allegory. It teaches that chaos is an ever-present force, an unavoidable aspect of existence. But it is one that can be contained and ultimately overcome by the resolute application of order and truth. This narrative has not only shaped the rituals and art of ancient Egypt, but has also resonated through later mystical traditions, where a struggle between light and darkness is a central theme in the quest for spiritual enlightenment. The enduring legacy of this cosmic conflict is evident in the many depictions of the battle found in the pyramid text, coffin text, and of course the Book of the Dead. temples and tombs alike boast relics and inscriptions that capture the dramatic confrontation, reminding all who behold them that the forces of chaos are always held at bay by the vigilance of the divine. And pharaohs, in a quest for legitimacy, often aligned themselves with the victorious light of Re, using the narrative of this daily triumph as a metaphor for their own role in maintaining cosmic order. Beyond Egypt, the timeless motive of battling chaos has influenced a wide range of mystical and philosophical systems, affirming the universal appeal of Re's message that order, no matter how fiercely challenged, is destined to prevail. So, in a ceaseless duel between Re and Apophis, we find a timeless reassurance that even when darkness seems overwhelming, the light will always rise again. Each sunrise is a reaffirmation of this cosmic promise, a reminder that the eternal struggle, and though fraught with peril, ultimately serves to renew and reinvigorate the world. In celebrating this epic battle, we honor not only the divine might of Re, but also the enduring resilience of order in the face of chaos. Re's radiant saga did not end with the cycles of day and night. It rippled through time, inspiring mystics, alchemists, and occultists throughout the ages. Long before modern magic took shape, the Egyptians had already woven a cosmic tapestry of symbols and stories that continue to whisper secrets to those who dare to seek hidden wisdom. In the fertile soil of ancient Egypt, Re's myth was inscribed not only on temple walls and papyri, but also into the collective psyche of a civilization that revered the interplay of light and darkness. When the Hellenistic world encountered these myths, they sparked a fusion of ideas that would later blossom into Hermeticism, a tradition that prizes the correspondence between the macrocosm and the microcosm. Here, Re's solar power became a metaphor for divine illumination and the transformative spark that resides within every seeker of truth. Re's influence did not stop with ancient philosophy. During the Renaissance, alchemists, in their relentless pursuit of the elusive philosopher's stone, saw in Re's ever-reborn sun a symbol of the perfection and the eternal regeneration they yearned for. The sun disk, with its eternal cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, resonated deeply with those who believed that transformation from base metal to pure gold mirrored the soul's own journey toward enlightenment. In their cryptic texts and mystical treatises, the radiant imagery of Re provided both a literal and symbolic guide toward spiritual transmutation. While we explore the detailed symbolism of the Vajidai, the sun disk, and the cobra in our previous chapters, it's important to understand that these emblems have transcended their original context. In modern esoteric circles, the Vajidai is celebrated as a talisman of protection and inner vision, a symbol of the all-seeing nature of the divine that continues to inspire secret societies and occult orders. Similarly, the cobra, rearing in regal deviance, represents the awakening of latent spiritual energy, again often linked to the awakening of Kundalini in Eastern traditions, a transformative force that purifies and empowers the soul. The narrative of Re has seeped into various strands of modern occultism and mysticism. Figures like Aleister Crowley and organizations rooted in Theosophy have embraced Egyptian symbolism as a vehicle for expressing cosmic truths. In these circles, Re is not seen merely as an ancient deity, but as an archetypal force, a representation of order emerging from chaos, perennial reminder that light, no matter how obscured, is always destined to prevail. The rituals and meditative practices developed around these symbols continue to serve as bridges between the tangible and the transcendent, offering a glimpse into the divine order that underpins all of existence. You see, Re's myth has even journeyed beyond the boundaries of Egypt, finding echoes in the mythologies of other cultures. Whether it is the Greek Helios or the Roman soul, and the archetype of the all-powerful, ever-rejuvenating sun god speaks to a universal human experience, the need for light, order, and hope. These parallels, meticulously drawn by scholars over the centuries, reinforce the notion that Re's legacy is not an isolated phenomenon, but part of a broader, interconnected web of myth and mysticism that spans across civilizations and epochs. So, in the intricate dance between light and shadow, between creation and dissolution, Re's myth serves as a luminous beacon, a symbol of the eternal quest for knowledge, balance, and spiritual awakening. The occult and esoteric traditions that draw upon its legacy remind us that the mysteries of the universe are not the relics of a bygone era, but living, dynamic forces that continue to inspire and transform. As we reflect on these ancient symbols and their modern reincarnations, we are invited to peer beyond the veil of the ordinary and embrace a truth as radiant and enduring as the sun itself. Re's myth, born of the Nile's ancient sands, has become more than an isolated Egyptian story. Scholars have long noted that the sun, its cyclical rise and fall, its nurturing heat, and its inexorable march toward renewal, has inspired countless cultures. Whether it's the Greek Helios, the Roman Sol, or the Japanese Amaterasu, and the archetype of the all-powerful, ever-renewing sun god reverberates through human history. In every case, the sun is not only a physical phenomenon, but also a symbol of cosmic order and transformation. Across the ancient world, the themes essential to Re's narrative, the struggle against chaos, the promise of rebirth, and the sacred power of light, appear in surprising parallels. In Mesopotamia, the solar deity Shamash brought justice and balance to a turbulent world, much like Re's daily victory over darkness. In the civilizations of the Americas, sun gods such as Inti were venerated for their life-giving energy. These shared motives suggest a collective human response to the celestial drama of light versus darkness, each culture interpreting the cosmic dance in its own symbolic language. You see, the legacy of Re is not confined to dusty tomes or ancient temple reliefs. his myth continues to echo in modern esoteric traditions. Occultists and alchemists of the Renaissance, as well as contemporary spiritual seekers, find in Ra's narrative a rich reservoir of symbolic meaning. The sun disk, the protective Vajidai, and even the potent image of the cobra have been reinterpreted as emblems of inner illumination, spiritual regeneration, and the eternal struggle against the forces of chaos. As modern mystics study their works, they discover that the dialogue between ancient myth and modern spiritual practice is as vibrant today as it was millennia ago, and the careful observation of scholars over the centuries reveal that Ra's legacy is part of a broader, interconnected web of myth and mysticism. His influence can be traced through various cultural narratives, each echoing the eternal promise that light, in all its forms, has the power to transform and uplift. Whether through the grand state rituals of ancient Egypt or the secretive symbols of modern occultism, Ra's story reassures us that even when darkness prevails, the light is destined to return. So, in celebrating Ra's timeless echoes, we recognize that his myth is a living dialogue between past and present, a luminous thread that binds civilizations across time and space. His narrative is a testament to the enduring human fascination with the sun as a symbol of order, vitality, and hope. As we reflect on these global resonances, we are reminded that the legacy of a sun god is not merely an artifact of ancient history, but a beacon that continues to inspire the quest for wisdom and renewal in every era. Ra's influence was not confined to the realm of myth and mystery. It was etched in stone, sung in hymns, and celebrated in daily life. In the bustling heart of ancient Egypt, the cult of Ra found its grand stage at Heliopolis, where monumental sun temples and obelisks testified to his divine supremacy. Here, the eternal dance of light and shadow wasn't just a spectacle for the gods, it was a daily reminder to mortals that order, renewal, and a cheeky bit of divine brilliance were all part of the cosmic plan. At Heliopolis, the city of the sun, Ra reigned supreme. Temples dedicated to him were marvels of ancient engineering and artistry, designed to capture and celebrate his life-giving radiance. Every obelisk and every sacred sundial was more than just stone and metal. They were instruments in a divine orchestra meticulously tuned to the rhythm of the cosmos. In these hallowed halls, priests recited ancient incantations and offered daily prayers, ensuring that the sacred cycle of dawn and dusk remained unbroken. You see, for the Egyptians, every sunrise was a personal greeting from Ra, a signal that chaos had once again been vanquished by light. Elaborate rituals were performed at daybreak, where offerings of bread, beer, and incense were laid at the foot of Ra's sacred images. These ceremonies were as much a celebration of life as they were a reaffirmation of cosmic order. Pharaohs, who were believed to be the living embodiment of Ra's divine power, participated in these rituals with a pomp that might make a modern-day royal blush. Their majestic processions and public ceremonies not only reinforced their legitimacy, but also wove the myth of Ra into the very fabric of statecraft. And Ra's cult left an indelible mark on Egyptian art and literature. The sun disk, ever resplendent atop a falcon-headed visage, or encircled by the vigilant cobra, became a ubiquitous symbol, an emblem not only of divine authority, but also of the promise of renewal. Hieroglyphs and temporalists portrayed Ra's daily journey in vibrant detail, each stroke of the chisel capturing a dynamic interplay of light and shadow. These images, imbued with both sacred meaning and aesthetic grace, continue to inspire modern art and architecture, reminding us that even millennia-old myths can cast a long, luminous shadow over the present. As Egypt evolved, so too did the worship of Ra. With the rise of new deities and shifts in political power, Ra's cult underwent fascinating transformations. His identity merged with that of Amun, giving birth to Amun-Ra, a composite that embodied both the primordial creative force and the dynamic energy of the midday sun, as we have already discussed earlier in this journey. Yet, even as his forms diversified, the core of Ra's myth, the promise of order, renewal, and eternal lives, remained steadfast. This resilience is perhaps why his legacy continues to resonate, not just in the annals of history, but in the esoteric and mystical traditions that still draw upon his imagery today. The cult of Ra may have its root in the dusty annals of ancient Egypt, but its influence is anything but antiquated. In modern occult circles and New Age spirituality, Ra's symbols, the sun disk, the Magi, and the rearing cobra, are celebrated as powerful emblems of transformation, protection, and enlightenment. And they serve as a constant reminder that the eternal cycle of creation and renewal is as relevant now as it was along the banks of the Nile. So, in the cult of Ra, we find a profound synthesis of myth and reality, a testament to the human need to connect with the divine. His temples, rituals, and enduring symbols remind us that the quest for light and order is a timeless endeavor. As we continue to uncover the layers of Ra's legacy, we see that his radiant influence is not confined to ancient stone or forgotten texts, but lives on in every sunrise, every ritual, and every spark of creation and creative inspiration. Ra's cult is, and always will be, a brilliant beacon guiding humanity through the vast, ever-changing tapestry of time.